my name is Lizzie and today I'm going to show you our new Fabrikit Quilt As You Go coaster set, and you actually get 4 coasters to make in the box. So what's inside? Here we go, let's open up. So there's everything you need to make these beautiful coasters except the thread. So the first thing you'll see is you have the plans, the floor plans if you like, to make the Quilt As You Go coasters, and you get the 4 different designs. They're all numbered as well, so you'll be able to follow this. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle, and that's the wadding. Then you get the fabric to actually, I would iron this and then cut all these pieces out. So that is all the pieces that you need to make 4 coasters with, and now you need to cut them out. The last and most important thing of all is, of course, the instructions, and the instructions are there for you as a guideline. You can choose the designs should you wish to change these, but it gives you all the instructions on how to put them together, so really easy to follow. So that is the Fabrikit Coasters collection from Threaders. So now I've cut all the pieces out to make one of the coasters so you can see how it's put together. So there's my first little square there, and you can see, you may be able to see that it's marked 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, and then you've got the outside edge of your design as well. So these are the pieces that you'll need. You'll need 1 backing piece. So if I lift one of these up, you'll be able to see that's the back side of that design. And then you've got all the little pieces here that you need to now to cut out. I've cut these out roughly. They need trimming back right to the edge, and then you're good to go. So all I'm going to do now is to trim these back and we're ready for stitching. So now that I've cut all my pieces out really neatly right up to the line, it's now time to place them onto my wadding, and it's just like a jigsaw puzzle, and in the middle it says I need piece number 1, and the actual fabric pieces themselves are also numbered, so each one has a number printed onto the piece, so you can't go wrong. So all I'm going to do is place that piece right down in the centre. Now you could use your stick and spray to hold this in place, or a little pin. I'll just use a pin just to hold, and that's the first piece in place. So now we need number 2. So this is our piece number 2, and you can see again that it's numbered right in the corner there, right within the 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we need to place that onto the wadding, and we need to do it so it's right sides down. So if I pop it that way, that's how we're going to stitch it, with the edges meeting just there. But if I flip that back, you'll be able to see that that's how it fits. So the first seam we're going to do is between number 1 and number 2. So if I flip this over and just pin that together, again you can use stick and spray if you want to. We're just going to take it to the machine and we're going to stitch. So it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and just as you get to your pin you can take it out. So that's the first bit done. So number 2 is now put onto our piece of wadding. Now we need to put number 3 down. So we look for our piece which is numbered 3, and we're going to put it right side down onto our square, and if you want to see if that works, that's the shape you want to make. So just flip that over right sides together and stitch that along that 1/4 inch seam allowance. And just finger press that back. Now we need to do number 4, and again it's printed onto the fabric so you know exactly which one to use. We can put it that way so we can see what it's going to look like, but then flip it over so you've got right sides together and you're ready to sew. Little finger press there, and now you need number 5 and you need piece number 5. Again you can see what it looks like, and then right sides together, and just stitch along that 1/4 inch seam allowance again. So those are all our pieces stitched, and you can see what that now looks like. So now we have to put the backing on to make it really neat, but the first thing we need to do is to actually trim that square down. So I'll bring in my rotary cutter and ruler. You could use scissors if you want to, and we'll just give that a trim. So what you're going to do is right sides together, so that your right side of your fabric, and pop that together, and you're going to stitch 1/4 inch all the way around and leave a little gap for turning. So we'll just pin that so it doesn't move. Don't forget to remove your pins as you go. There we go. So a little back stitch to hold. So we just need to trim this mat now. So take off your corners, don't go too near your stitching. Now the gap that I've left is just here and here. Okay, so it's about 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre in from the corners, so that gives us a really good nice wide opening to turn this through. Now also I would suggest you actually trim down some of this wadding at this stage, because when we turn it through we'll need to top stitch, and we need to get some of that bulk out of the way so we can do that easily. So I'm just going to take some of this away. In fact, I'll do the wadding. Okay, so now we can turn this through. Now this may be a bit fiddly because the wadding is really good quality. It's going to take the heat of your mug to protect your tables. So just turn this through. And now you need a nice blunt end of scissors or a knitting needle, something where it's not going to poke through your fabric, but you're going to get into the corners. So just poke those corners out. Take a little time over this. There we go. So I would give that a nice press now and get that really squished nice and flat. Give it a little wriggle. So you need to get those raw edges now inside. So just fold down 1/4 inch. Don't forget you've already cut some of that wadding away, so that'll really help. And then just pin. Or you could tack, baste. Pop those edges in and give that a really good press to hold that all in place. There we go, just tuck that in. There, got it now. And there we are. That's our coaster made. So all we need to do now is top stitch all the way around. Let me show you the designs that you're going to be able to create with this new Fabrikit. So that's the one we've just done. Another design there. I love the fabric, so pretty. Different back to that as well. This one where it's using all 3 fabrics, really pretty. And this one as well with a darker backing. So those are the ones you're going to make. I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope you've really found this tutorial really useful. Thank you.